Hello there, Internet, and welcome to another episode of Weekly Art Tips. You're going to notice that this is going to be a bit different from the first video. The numbered videos are going to be illustrated, they're going to be scripted, and they're going to look really polished. These ones are going to be a bit more informal. I'm going to not have a script, so you get to hear me trip over my words and sound stupid, so that's going to be a lot of fun. These are going to deal, this type of video specifically is going to deal with techniques. So I'm going to show you just different techniques on different programs. In the meantime, this first episode is going to just be talking about different drawing programs that are available, just in case you haven't heard of any of them or might want to check some of them out. And then the next video is going to be a critique video. So if you have any pictures that you want me to look over, feel free to note them to me at drawoutloud. That's my Deviantart username. So just give me a couple of, like, one or two pictures that you want me to go over and I'll make a video on it. But just so that you can get an idea of how I critique, the next video I'm going to be critiquing some of my old pictures, just so that you know what you're in for if you send me anything. But that's enough about next video. I'll talk more about that when I start recording for that video. This one is specifically about tools, so let's go check out some tools. The first one I want to talk about is GIMP. GIMP is a great program. That was my first digital painting program. Well, aside from like Microsoft Paint, that was the first digital painting program that I ever got my hands on. It was free, so that was very appealing to me. I was in high school and I didn't have very much money to buy like a $1,000 copy of Photoshop or anything. So GIMP was really comparable to Photoshop back then. I haven't tried it lately, but I did download 2.8.18, which is the new their newest version. So I'm going to check that out. I'm gonna look at all of the different things that it has to offer, and I'll probably make a couple of videos about GIMP later in this technique series. So that look forward to that, and I'll just kind of be going over like the kind of like program stuff that they have. I remember that they had like a really helpful shading tool. So yeah, I'll look for little goodies like that, and I'll make a video on it. This one's going to be a bit longer than most of my technique videos are going to be, probably. But yeah, I'll go get to a good GIMP video in the near future. And so yeah, like I said, the good thing about GIMP is it's absolutely free, although I suggest that you do donate, because they have bills to pay too. So it doesn't have to be a very large donation. It would just be very helpful to the programmers. And also a nice tip, or a nice thing about GIMP, is that they have a portable version. So if you get like a thumb drive and you put the portable version on it, you can take it to pretty much every computer that has like a USB slot, and you can use the program off of that computer without having to download anything directly to the computer. So that's great if you use public computers a lot, or if you're sharing a computer with like a family member and they don't want to like use up all of the space on the computer's like hard drive. So that's really helpful. Another program that has the same exact kind of portable thing is this next program, Krita, which I have not heard of Krita before I started looking up programs for this list. But from what I've seen, this seems like a really great program. It is also free, and it looks like it has some sort of animation software in it as well, which would be really helpful if you're just trying to make like some short GIFs or something. So I'm gonna make a couple of videos on this one as well. I got to kind of play around with it when I first downloaded it, and it seems very similar to Photoshop and GIMP from what I can see, but something that really stuck out to me is it says that it was made with concept art in mind right here. And that's kind of interesting. I wonder how they geared their programs specifically towards concept art. Maybe they have some sort of like template, or I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to look into that, and I'll make another video about this program sometime in the future. So, also a quick note before we move on. This is a very cute, like, little squirrel person here. It's adorable. And the colors on this are very nice. Getting off topic. This is not a critique video. Anyways, so yeah, this one's portable. This one's also free. Donate to the programmers if you can. And moving on. This next program that I'm going to be talking about is not a free program, but it does have a highly discounted price compared to a lot of the other programs that are available, and that's Clip Studio Paint Pro, which I have probably a different, like an older version. I got my version for like about $25 or so, but this one goes for around $50, but I got mine on sale, so I don't know, maybe it is the same version, I'm not sure. If you haven't heard of Clip Studio Paint, you've probably heard it by its other name, which is Manga Studio, and it's a really great program. You can get a lot of fantastic line work with it. That's actually, if I'm going for very clean lines, I'll actually use this program to make my lines, because I feel like Photoshop makes your lines a little bit more jittery, and it's better for coloring than it is for line work. But Clip Studio definitely makes some really great lines, and I would definitely check it out if you are at all interested in that, or if you're also interested in making comics, because it has a lot of templates. It has like speech bubbles, all that kind of good stuff, and it's a great starter for your comic, especially if you are interested in making it in the manga style. So check out Clip Studio if that at all interests you, and I'll probably make a video on this one, specifically the symmetry tool, which is like a really great tool if you want to make like stained glass windows or really intricate like circular designs, or even just like you want to mirror one side to another. You can do that as well. I use it, I don't know if you've seen my gallery, but I have like a series of Sailor Moon prints that I made with kind of like a stained glass Art Nouveau design in the back, and I made those completely in Clip Studio with the line work, and then I colored it in Photoshop. So that's a lot of fun, so check that out. The next program I'm going to be talking about is industry standard Adobe Photoshop, if the page ever loads. Okay, anyways, I think pretty much I'm not going to be blowing anyone's mind by saying Adobe Photoshop is a good product, and it's got a lot of really great digital painting like tools and techniques in it. So yeah, I know, just, well, slow down there. I'm just being all crazy telling you guys some earth-shattering details. But no, Adobe Photoshop is a really great program. If you're going to learn to digital paint and you want to do it professionally, I would definitely recommend learning Photoshop, because that's basically the industry standard. You can use other programs as well, but this is probably the program to learn. And it's much more accessible than it was when I was first starting out as an artist, because it was around like $1,000 something to get like a version of Adobe Photoshop. But now that they have the Creative Cloud suite, you can get updated versions, so you don't have to, like, every couple years when they get a new version, you don't have to like spend the money again. This one has like a monthly fee. If you're a student, they have a nice discounted rate. I think it's like about $25 a month. And you get access to Photoshop. You get like access to all of their other Creative Cloud programs, like Audition and After Effects and Flash. So you can get a lot of programs for just like a monthly fee. That's really great, especially if you're just trying to learn a whole bunch of programs at the beginning of like school or just for different projects. So that's a very helpful like monthly fee that they have. And if you're just kind of interested in Photoshop, they have, like, you can just get a monthly fee for one program, or I would recommend they have like a photographer deal like right now. I don't know if they will in the future when you watch this, but currently they have like a $9.99 a month, and you get Photoshop and Lightroom. So that's a really great deal. If you want like the full version of the Creative Cloud, it's going to cost you about $45. So, but other than that, definitely check out this program if you're at like if you're at a point in your artistic journey where you're like, yeah, I've done all I can with free programs, I've done all I can with less complicated programs, now it's time to try Photoshop. Definitely do recommend. Alright, so this next program is going to be Tool Sai, which I've heard is a very good program. A lot of people really like it. I've never personally used it, but I do know that there are a lot of people where this is like their program that they want to use for a majority of their work. And like, I had a very hard time finding this website because I kept on coming across it, and I thought it was like an old program and like an old website, and I was like, well, this can't be their actual website. I mean, it looks like it was made in 1996. So, but apparently, yes, this is the correct program. This is the correct website. I don't know why it looks so retro though. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to make a video on Tool Sai. This is just to kind of let you know that it exists, and it's going to be $70 to get the program, which is really not that expensive because it's like a perpetual license. You don't need to keep paying monthly, so this is a pretty good deal on a painting program, especially if you end up liking it just as much as anyone else. And they have a trial version you can test out before you choose to buy, so definitely check that out if it at all interests you. So that's awesome. Moving on, this is going to be a more expensive software, is Corel Painter, and this one is $4.29, so that's a bit more on the high end of the spectrum. But according to things that I've seen on this page, it looks like a really good painting program, hence the name, Painter. So, I have not personally tried this program either, but it does look really good, and I may check out the trial version and see if there's anything worth going into. This right here, I'm not sure if you can actually see it, but there's kind of like this little green spiral here. That's a tool that a lot of artists use to get good composition in, and it looks like it's a template that you can kind of lay over your images while you're working, which would be really helpful if you're trying to get like a very strong composition and you just can't really visualize the spiral motion in just like the top of your head. So I'll do a technique video on that whole theory as well, just so that you can get an idea of like what good composition consists of. So that's some really great software here. So check out Corel Painter if that ever interests you. And they also have a 30-day money-back guarantee right here. So that's a great option. And then the final thing that I want to talk about in programs is Sketchbook. Autodesk Sketchbook. The Sketchbook version is free, and it's a lot more painterly. They have like natural brushes that you can use in it, and it's got a nice effect to it. And Sketchbook, oh, no thank you. Okay, so Sketchbook is this version is absolutely free, but Sketchbook Pro you can get for $30 for a year or $5 per month. I would recommend just going and doing the $30 because if you do the monthly fee, you're going to end up paying for it halfway through like the year versus just paying for like half the price and getting the whole thing for an entire year. But yeah, so I know a lot of people who use Sketchbook. They put it on like their tablet as well. There's like a to-go version for like your iPad. So if you have like an iPad Pro or Surface or something, it seems like it would be a really helpful tool to just kind of like sketch on the go. And I played around with it a bit. I might go into that one as well. Pretty much the only two programs that I'm definitely, or three programs that I'm definitely going to make videos on right now is going to be GIMP, Krita, and Clip Studio. So I'm going to be doing those three for sure. These other programs I may or may not do videos on. I don't know. I'm probably going to spend most of the time in these critique videos just working off of Photoshop because that's like my default program. But anyways, check out Sketchbook if you want a bit more of like a painterly design. And according to like the Sketchbook Pro thing, it looks like you can do like vehicle designs and stuff, so that might be really helpful as well. So I know Autodesk kind of deals more with 3D products than like drawing products normally, but yeah, check those out. And that's all I'm going to be talking about programs. I just wanted to end this video talking quickly about Wacom tablets. Sorry, I'm saying a lot. Okay, so Wacom is probably like my favorite tablet maker. I've used some tablets by people who, or not people, but by companies that aren't Wacom before and didn't like them as much. Wacom has a really like extensive selection of tablets that you can get into for relatively inexpensive. We're living in the golden age of tablets, people. It used to be that a tablet would be much more expensive, and now you can get the ones for like under $100, and they're good ones too. I've used the Wacom Intuos Pen and Touch Medium, so it's the bigger version of this one over on the side here, and I used that one exclusively as my tablet throughout college, and it was a really nice tablet. I've switched over to a Cintiq now because it's much bigger and I use it for like my desk work. But when I was on the run in school, I had my computer with me, I had my tablet with me. I would do all my work at like a little tea shop and just kind of draw in between like passing periods, doing my projects, that kind of thing. It's a really nice lightweight tablet. It slides like right into like whatever bag that you're taking with you to carry your computer with. So I definitely recommend this one if you want something lightweight, but you can get like the full-on Intuos ones like this one over here. These ones are pretty nice. I know a lot of people that I went to school with had that kind of tablet. But yeah, like I said, there's a whole bunch of newer ones. There's ones that have like screens like the Cintiq over here. And there's just like a whole bunch to choose from, and they're really not as expensive as they used to be. And if you want to try another brand, there's also like Huion, I heard is pretty good. I've seen this one is like Uji, I don't know how to pronounce that one. I'm not sure if they're like a very like how they are. Well, these people seem to like them a lot. But yeah, I would definitely recommend before you buy a tablet to just kind of go online and check out what reviews are said. And it looks like they have like a cheaper version of like a Cintiq as well. So I would definitely recommend checking out these kinds of like tablets and just compare notes, that kind of thing. I haven't used as many tablets as like some people out there, but I do know that there are other YouTube channels that have like a whole bunch of like reviews of tablets, so do some research and decide which tablet works best for you, but try and make sure that you have one with good like pressure sensitivity, because that's going to help you a lot with getting like a more natural look to your lines. So that's my only recommendation on looking for a tablet. Just wanted to, oh, sorry about that. This thing keeps popping up, it's annoying. Okay, so that just, like I said, look around, do some research, and instead of going for the cheapest option, look for the sturdiest option, and just kind of save up until you can get there. You don't have to buy a tablet immediately, but if you want to do digital painting, a tablet would really help out in the long run, because you can get some really nice effects instead of just using like sorry, not a tablet, like instead of using just like a mouse click or something. Those will give you like really thick lines, but if you use a tablet you can get like subtle changes in line. So that's kind of an upside of having a tablet. And that's all I really wanted to talk about today. The next video, like I said, is going to end up being a critique video. So I'm going to be going over like two of my oldest, or not oldest, but just two of my older pieces that I have on my gallery. I made a folder just full of old work because I didn't want to like delete it or anything. But I'm going to be going over two of my older pieces, critiquing, giving suggestions on how I could have improved these pieces, and just kind of like an idea, like I said before, of what I would do as a critique video. And if that at all interests you, I encourage you to send some stuff my way, and I will definitely look over whatever you send me and give my honest opinion. So join us for the next video. See you later.